And we bring you the amazing story of a Nigerian who went from being an Uber driver, squatting with friends in the UK, to a real estate investor.
If you're thinking about getting started in property and you don't know where to start from, it's important for you to learn all things deal sourcing.
Meet Dr. Daniel Moses, property investor, wealth creator, and a highly sought-after public speaker.
So my mission was to create wealth. And how did I manage to create that wealth?
It's hard to imagine that this household name in real estate was once an Uber driver and a delivery man, pounding the inner streets of London. Today, he's made his mark and is described by those who know as a hotspot for property wealth creation in the UK real estate market. He is the CEO of Property Wealth Corporation, a company that deals with property management, development, investment and partnership, as well as business education. Born and raised in Edo State, South Nigeria, Dr. Daniel Moses is a graduate of the University of Benin, Edo State, where he studied sociology and anthropology. He was awarded a doctoral certificate in philosophy, business and Christian leadership by Cornerstone Christian University, Georgia, in the United States. And in 2021, he received an award of excellence at the Edo Festival and Awards in the UK in recognition of his work. Daniel is an award-winning author, and his recent book, Rent to Rent Made Easy, published in 2021, has received several 5-star reviews on Amazon for its easy steps in getting people to build wealth using a creative mindset. More recently, he's taken to sharing his real estate ideas more widely and has shared stages with the renowned CEO of VaynerMedia, Gary Vaynerchuk.
This is my passion. This is what I love to do. I love building businesses. This is fun for me. You understand, I'm a purebred entrepreneur for real. Like, documented.
A Belarusian-American entrepreneur, author and speaker.
I've not been the chief operator of a business. And I've made payroll every single week since I was 22 years old, and I'm proud of that.
He launched the Rent to Home initiative that helps individuals generate income fast with limited startup capital. This determination has seen him generate multiple streams of income for others, and he's now on the verge of beating the odds as one of Nigeria's most influential property wealth creation experts in the UK. His grass to grey story has been the subject of articles and international features in Yahoo Finance, CNBC and Fox News, and several Nigerian business pages have focused on how this immigrant who started with nothing has done so well in the diaspora. Coming up on Diaspora Network, I'll chat with Dr. Daniel Moses. He wears many hats: real estate mogul, coach, and wealth creator. Welcome back to the program. We sat down with this Nigerian-British real estate guru and got to understand what he does.
My journey basically started in search for a greener pasture way back in 2004.
Daniel tells us how he survived on menial jobs despite being a graduate when he first arrived in the UK in 2004. Life as an immigrant squatter was tough.
I went to University of Benin, where I studied sociology and anthropology. Towards the last year of my graduation year, I decided to escape from Nigeria. I said, yes, absolutely, because this is a country where, for example, at that time where I left school 2004, you know, you graduate from school, you don't know what lies ahead of you, right? You don't know what you're going to do with that job. There's nothing. There's basically nothing. And I decided to, you know, relocate to England. I basically squatted with friends, relatives that became friends, you know. I stayed with these individuals, slept on the floors, you know, just trying to do anything. And imagine in the UK, you need papers, you need resident permit in order for you to get a job. So I couldn't get a job, but I could do any sort of odd jobs, any type of linear jobs.
Well, by odd, what do you mean? Because when people hear odd jobs, you know,
From
that could be anything.
from sweeping the street in the cold weather, from, you know, there's one very popular job, you know, that a lot of immigrants get when they go to the UK. It's called beke. Beke means the guy who sprays the perfumes in the toilet. So I was the guy that if you go to a nightclub and you come to the men's restroom, I'm the guy that will spray you perfume. I'm the guy that will give you a stick of lollipop, and I get paid £1, sometimes 50p, or sometimes maybe even 20p. So I'll gather that. Maybe at the end of that night, I'll probably go home with like £40. Worst days, and a good day, I'll go home with like about 110, 120 pounds.
So doing this beke, as you called it,
Yeah.
was better than what you were doing in Nigeria before you decided, I want a better life in the UK?
Well, I would probably say it wasn't better. It wasn't better being the guy who was in the toilet giving people perfumes and lollipops, you know, watching people being sick in the toilet, you know, and cleaning all that, you know, stuff. It wasn't an interesting job. But one thing I think for me was I knew that I had to go through a process. I knew that success lies ahead for sure, but I had to pay the dues.
And in the mix, Daniel met the woman who has built the business with him.
Met my wife in the bus, proposed to her. We got married within 6 months. And then that came again with a lot of its challenges, because people started to like, oh, you're trying to get married because you're trying to get papers. But we fell in love. It was just love at first sight.
She's British.
She's British.
Oh, well, really love at first sight then. I can imagine.
You know, and today we have 2 amazing kids. My first is 14. My second is 11. We've been married together, and today we're building an empire, unbelievable empire.
So walk
together.
us through that empire, that property empire.
Yeah.
It's difficult to talk about property without your name coming up, and obviously you've obviously got properties for other people as well.
Yeah.
From squatting on the floors of other people's houses. So that's the diaspora story that we're curious about. Talk us through that.
Well, I mean, I think one of the biggest problems or challenge a lot of diaspora faces when they come into a foreign country is that I think people have been sold this instant success. You know, the microwave mentality, I call it. You know, when you put your food in the microwave, you turn it to on, and you put it 5 minutes, it warms up, and you have your food ready to eat. So, and I think that's what's being sold a lot most of the time. And this, you know, for you to kind of progress, you don't have to go with the that sort of mentality where it's an instant gratification. It goes through a process, because life itself is a journey.
And speaking of the process curve to his success, Daniel tells us how he returned to Nigeria in 2015 to start up an oil and gas company, only to lose his entire life savings. Broke and clinically depressed, he returned to London to take up Uber driving. And then one day, something amazing happened.
You know, it's actually a miracle if I go deep down into the story. You know, I remember, if you don't mind, I can actually share that. I believe in God. So, for me, there was a day I was driving from the Stansted Airport, to be precise, coming from Stansted Airport. I fell asleep on the motorway. And I fell asleep on the wheel. I fell asleep. I felt really tired because I was working so hard. You know, I fell asleep. I pulled over to a petrol station and I took a nap. It was in the nap I had this weird dream. It's a story, actually, it's in my book. I actually told the story in my book. And I woke up from that sleep, picked up my phone, and scrolling through Facebook, an ad pops in my face. Get started in property with little or no money. And I literally clicked on the ad on Facebook, paid £70. It was actually the last £70 I had on my credit card to pay for my petrol to work for the next week. Because as an Uber driver, we get normally paid, you know, every Friday. Yeah. So I needed to top up my petrol for Thursday, and this happened on a Wednesday. I can't forget the days of the week because it changed my life. So it was the last £70 that I had in my card, my credit card. And I paid for that training. I went, it was a 2-hour training. It's a networking event in central London. I attended that networking event. And in fact, I was the only black man in that room.
Wow. You
know, I was the only black guy in the room. Everything they were saying, nothing made sense. It was.
So you're thinking this 70 pounds.
I was like, oh my
better
days.
Be worth it.
This 70 pounds, I've just gambled. Better be worth it, else I'm going to cause some trouble here. You know, jokes apart. Anyways, I literally got registered to that event, and it was life. You know, it was just life-changing, and that was just my gate to property.
Through this life-changing training, Daniel has gone on to disrupt a predominantly white male industry and become competitors of the leading property wealth training companies in the UK. With the help of great minds and property marketing specialists, he founded Property Wealth Education, a firm that helps individuals get started in property investing. And now there's hardly any other black-led property or wealth coaching company as large as Property Wealth Education. Another thing about those who come from the diaspora, you've just flown in today, for instance, there's the glamorous aspect people see of people who have gone away and they come back different.
Yeah.
You know, and they're thinking, ooh, that's what I want for myself. What was your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge of, you know, like you said, when people glamorize the whole success abroad to back home, is that there is a journey, all right? The journey is that it's like the rain will beat you. The sun will dry you up. It's part of the process, all right? If you understand that process, then you might be able to be patient enough to get to where you want to get to.
He's passionate about replicating his success in the diaspora back home, especially in the light of the housing deficit in the country.
Nigeria is a very interesting economy. I mean, we're one of the biggest black nations on the planet Earth. You know, if the statistics are right, they say we're over 280 million. I believe we're more, because you can't count the number of Nigerians that exist on the planet. Now, Nigeria is a great market. If only the word trust, if only the word, you know, because we work very hard. Nigerians were very hardworking people. You know, the whole stigmatization of Nigeria is only by a certain percentage of people. So for me, anything can be replicated in Nigeria because we have the numbers. We have the economy. We have the landmass. Anything can be replicated in Nigeria. In fact, right now, you know, the property market in Nigeria is booming, although I don't really understand the property market in Nigeria. And the reason why I don't understand it is because of the amount of capital that is required. Unlike in England, you know, you require some capital, but you can leverage on the banks. The loans are cheap. In fact, the money in England is very cheap. You know, in Nigeria here, the money is not cheap. So you have to raise that money. You have to find that money to get started. You know, so those are the two different things. In England, if you understand how it works, if you get yourself educated, if you get yourself information, or you key in with people who are doing well in the UK to getting started, yes, it's easier, but here it's more difficult. The reason why it's difficult here is the money. You know, if you want to buy land in Banana Island, you're looking at about, what, 100, 200, 300 million? How many Nigerians can lay hands on the 100 million naira today?
Yeah.
For every single one of you in this room tonight.
And here are his nuggets of wisdom for translating networking events and seminars into wealth.
Nigerians, no disrespect to us, but the truth is, we get, you know, the population gets more entertained by information rather than actually using that information as a leverage to even creating mass wealth. So a lot needs to change. A lot needs to, an entire system, you know, recreation through influencing, through education, you know, through people sharing their actual success stories, you know, to inspire and motivate people.
There will always be problems. There will always be challenges. But know, in every single problem that you go through in life is there to make you and not break you.
What an inspiring story of grit and hard work. As Nigeria grapples with a huge housing deficit, the diaspora holds some promise. It's time to harness its potential. And that's it on the show today. You can catch other editions on our website, channelstv.com. I'm Ijoma Onyato. See you next time.